Good evening, everybody. Today is Sunday, September the 15th. The time is now 10:01. You are now tuning in to the massive haul that is New Comic Book Weekend. It's payday, and you're here with me, Mr. Rob Wurst. Good to see everybody. It's been a long weekend. Wound up having a Friday deposition that went 9 hours, and a woman brought a stuffed dog. So that happened. So let's get to the books. So this weekend I took 2 trips out to Broward County, Florida. One was to CJ's Comics, the other was to Phil's Comics in Broward County, Florida. Now, in Broward County, Florida, you'll find a lot better shops than you will most likely with Miami, because Miami, they have some decent shops, but they're spread around, and boy, is it a haul. The one I go to down in Miami, A&M Comics, that is the shop I go to every Wednesday, but they have a sign out front that does read, "We have the right to change prices upon getting to the counter." I don't like that, so I really don't do a lot of back issue shopping there. I'll get all my new books, but when I see that sign, if you're a comic shop, listen, I've even told people, I'll give you the $20. Get Key Collector Comic app. That is how I wind up doing my hauls. So now let's get and take a look, see what I got. So let's jump on over to the next camera. These are the books that I wound up getting. I can just start peeling them away one by one. Now this first one was the one I intended on getting last weekend, but they did not have it at the shop at that point. So what I wound up doing is saying, I'll take the 19. In fact, it's right up there. There. So the 19 is got, and now I have the 20. Let's jump on over to the larger screen. So here's issue number 20. This is, fix the lights for everybody. So this is issue 20. This is the first full appearance of Luke Fox as the Batwing. It will be on the new CW Batwoman TV show coming this fall. Next up, we have Marvel Spotlight, issue number 28, the first time that Moon Knight appears in his own, not necessarily his own series, but his first solo title. And then the next appearance after that, so I am going to want to press these. Now, as I tell people, I don't do any kind of slabbing or grading. That's for you all, not for me. Next up, first appearance of Spider-Woman in Marvel Spotlight issue number 32. Following that, the first appearance of the Spot in Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man number 99. I notice my camera's having some trouble focusing, so that will be something in the next episode. Hey, Lady Fantastic, good to see you. Rebagging and boarding some of the comics you got today. How did you like the bagging and boarding I do? That's just the way I do it because, as I tell people, I'm Butterfingers and I drop things. So this here is the first appearance of the Superior Spider-Man in issue number 21 of Daredevil. It comes in the last panel as a silhouette. This was back during the time I was, well, out of a job and going homeless, so I didn't get these issues. Next up is the first appearance of the Guardians of the Galaxy as we know them today. Following that, coming this fall, I believe, to the DC Universe app. Or maybe Hulu, I don't know, because the DC Universe app has just been screwy as hell. Anybody remember Swamp Thing? Great shit series, but they canceled it after the first episode. So, first appearance of Stargirl, written by Jeff Johns. Some of his early work. First appearance of the Arrowette. And she's with the Teen Titans. Hello, YouTube is 90. And Machine Man number 1. I am going to fix this camera for the next episode. This is the first time I'm trying it this way, so this way you don't see books falling down like the last video. So first issue of Machine Man in his own title. We next have Elsa Bloodstone, first appearance in her own title, came out in issue number 1 back in 2001. She's been appearing quite a bit lately. Thing, first issue in his own title. I'm planning on getting an issue number 35. I won't tell you why until I get it, but let's just say I'm only getting my keys now because you never know when I might wind up having a girlfriend or getting married and then I can't spend money on comics anymore. So get what you want now while you can. You never know if there might be a flood or fire or something in the future where you can't afford it anymore. So get what you can now. Alpha Flight number 1, first issue in its own series. Dazzler issue number 1. All these I just never had before, so I'm picking them up. Now, Key Collector Comic App sent out a key alert this weekend. This book ties into the current storyline in House of X, Powers of X. In this issue, you see some bulbs growing on a Krakoan-like island, very similar to what's going on in the John Hickman series. I haven't read it yet, flipped through it, and damn, they look awfully close. I'm curious to see how this pans out. Excalibur, issue number 56. This is the first appearance of Pete Wisdom. Now, this came down a bit over the last year or two, so I find it my opportunity to snap it right up. Now, I said last week I don't give a crap about the spec books, but I'll pick them up if they're cheap enough. I don't have an 81, but issue 82 was cheap enough for me to get it. It was under $10. Issue 61 of Spawn, first appearance of the Jessica Priest, who will be taking over the Spawn role in issue 301 of Spawn. I picked this up from Brian this past weekend at Phil's Comics. Usagi Yojimbo, issue number 1, first issue in his own title. Really cheap I got this one for. Same with Power Pack, issue number 1. And Leo Marquez, since you are talking about Young Avengers, while I did not pick that up this weekend, I do have it. So I'll give you a little show-see. Because I have it right here. Issue number 1, Young Avengers. I got this on New Comic Day, the day it came out. I don't like paying too much for comic books. Not if I can help it. I'd rather put that money elsewhere when I can. Issue number 6 of Logan's Run. This is the first solo Thanos. It's in okay condition. Not terribly great, not fantastic, but doable. This was the big pickup I got this weekend. The first Hulk in his own title in 1968 after it took 5 years. He only had a few issues. Jumped on over to Tales to Astonish, and after I believe it was issue 110, this is back in 1968, there was a bunch of issues that came out around the same time. You have Hulk issue 102, you have Silver Surfer number 1, you have Iron Man, I have the damn thing right here. And along with that, this issue came out also almost all at about the same month. As you see, I have my Stan Lee copy. So of course, after this week, the wall is going to look very much different. I should also throw out to you that this coming Friday with The Boy Who Had 7, I will be facing off against Bake the Snake from Key Largo. Now, I do know it's not about the first appearances. Speaking of which, first appearance of Harpy, Betty Ross. Next, first appearance of By Beast, and it continues on with the story in issue 170. The trick to competing in the Friday night fights is you got to bring cool covers, and you have to sell the story. I used to be an artist. I've been to galleries. I've shown in galleries. I can sell bull. Now, this is a Key Collector Top 20 this week. I've just been wanting to buy this back. This week, this last year, in fact, has been about me getting back all the books I had to sell right when I was losing my job and going homeless and going into various things to get me better from where I was before. That's a story for another day. And here's something I've been waiting to get for quite some time. It is issue 1 through 12 of Secret Wars. And if you're curious if it's decent conditions with all of them, I got them from CJ's Comics. and he has good stuff. They might look like they're a bit overpriced, but just bring cash. He does negotiate down. It's just to make sure that he gets the money that he rightly deserves for him, especially after holding him for so long and keeping him in such great shape. Issue 3, issue 4, issue 5, issue 6, and issue 7, the first appearance. Well, this is the cameo. This is the first full appearance of the new Spider-Woman. And of course, issue number 8 of Secret Wars. This now finally goes very nicely with all the other first appearances of the same black outfit. Now I can start working on my Venom, because after this issue, he appeared in issue 252 of Amazing Spider-Man, and that same week, these issues came out. Marvel Team Up 141, and Peter Parker the Spectacular Spider-Man, number 90. So now, I have a full run of all of his first appearances. How odd is it that the first appearance can always come out in the same week? Very much the same way that Teen Titans 12 and the Batman Who Laughs storyline with issue 2, that dropped, and well, it's all technically the same, but the collecting market's going to choose what they want. Kind of helps to be ahead of the curve, so do get that Key Collector comic app. Now, next up, let's see what we got. Issue 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now, coming up are some of my personal pickups because, well, not that one. This is something that I have to always remind people, do check out your books, because if you see a good price, there might be a reason, and you can see it in the light. Let's see if we can get a little closer. See that nice little spot? It's like someone spilled Kool-Aid on it. So I have a best friend. His name is Rufo. His children, he has 3 girls. Some of them like comic books. So I wind up giving them comic books just to get them started. So this will be one of them. This is, I believe, I don't know. I just picked it up because the price was right. But he's going to be appearing in the new TV series with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Can't remember his name, for Christ's sakes. Now here's my real personal picks, issue number 19 and 20 of the Max, because I'm trying to put together a full run. Now, let's get to the next set of books that we have, so we'll jump back over to my main screen here. And as I do that, this is time for an unboxing. So, while I unbox, I'm going to jump back over here, and you don't need to look over those, so not that, not that. Yeah, why not? Better. Ha! That's the one I'm looking for. So, this is what I just wound up getting in the mail. I am trying to go for scraps, while everyone else is trying to find those books that are in the top 10, top 20, CBSI top 10, Comic Tom top 10 from Nick. I'm getting the books that were yesteryear's top picks. So let's take a look and see what came in the mail. U.S. Agent. Thank you, Leo. That's who I was looking for. So I believe I have somewhere around here some scissors. And I did stop in a place in Homestead. I'll show you right here. The name of it is Anime Games, or what is it? Games on videos.com. It is in Homestead. I stopped in there last weekend. It's more of a boutique place. It's mostly statues. But if you don't have a comic book shop and you live deep south, possibly in the Keys or Homestead, that is your closest one now in Miami. Good to know. So let's cut this open, and as I always tell people, cut away from yourself. I probably should have prepped this a little more. And there should be 3 books in here. And I certainly taped it up right. And I even won an auction tonight, 2 of which, so I'm looking forward to that. And at the end of the video, I hope you'll all indulge me in something that's been happening in my life lately. Now, let's see here. Cut away from yourself, otherwise I don't want to become Nick Fury in this very video. Wow, this is taped really well. There we go. Alright, let's see how they did it. Not bad so far. Alright, this is how they taped the books. So, not an awful typing job. This is adequate. I always like taking note of how people wrap their packages. And this will prevent any kind of tampering. So let's see what we got here. Looks like this when it comes. So we buy and sell comics. I do use collectorscomics.com. Those are the people, I guess, who I bought from this time. Now, something that I do have to let y'all know, this fills right on in with that Captain America First U.S. Agent. It's that when you're buying books online, it's kind of like being at the checkout counter in the local convenience store. Sometimes you have those impulse buys that might not be the greatest idea on earth. So while using Key Collector Comic app, sometimes a seller may not always be putting the correct information in the title, and I believe that happened with me this time. So let's take a look and see what I got. All right. Well, the first two look right. Oh, yeah, they fixed it for me. So I did write to them, and it looks like they fixed it for me. So here are the books of the winnings from this last week on eBay. I'm working on putting together a run of The First Dead Man. So here is his first time. Well, this is a Neil Adams cover. This won an award back in the early 70s. I'm just waiting to get the whole run and read it because I am loving the old artwork from Neil Adams. Now, next up, these will go with another auction that I won this past, today, in fact, because I'm covering up for some pain that I've been having lately. My cat has been sick, so I'm trying to pacify that by some retail therapy. So what I wound up getting was issue 53 of Showcase. This is the first appearance of the Psycho Pirate. And also, since I'm working on these, this is the first appearance in the Silver Age of the Spectre. I've been looking forward to getting this. When I ordered this, it looked like it was issue 64. It is important to always look at what you're buying. Every single time you go to the shop, even if it's a new book, just look it over. Make sure it doesn't have any dings on day number one. If you're paying for a more expensive book, it's okay to ask the owner of the book or the person working the shop, hey, can we remove the tape and take a look at the book? You can handle it, it's fine. Be courteous, bring cash. This is how I wind up getting a lot of the books. Be nice to them and they'll work with you. So, this is what I want you to indulge me in. Because Saturday I had to bring my cat to the vet, and I don't know how much longer she has. And since I have this platform of YouTube, and I am now about 20 minutes in, and I did say that I'd be off before Reggie at Collect starts at 10:30 today, Eastern Time. He's doing it Pacific, 7:30. So her name is Angel. This is my kitty. Now, you might remember her from last weekend, or last week, Wednesday. She was right over there on the couch, and she was fine as rain could be. Friday night, I got back after that long deposition, and she was limp, she was not eating, she was throwing up, she was much skinnier, and I've just been overworking myself. Don't ever fetishize overworking. The people... Your pets, your family, they're more important than the books. So there's not much I can do about Angel right now. Just give her the steroids. They were asking for a blood transfusion. I've gone this route before. I know that it's kidney. So anybody you care about, anybody you love, it's okay. Let them know. Because you never know when, like today, you're just hoping that one day, even if she passes, you can look back on this video. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy your week. Go watch Reggie over at Go Collect. Don't worry about me, and I will be back this coming Wednesday for New Comic Wednesday, and I'll let you all know how Angel's doing. So I didn't mean to end this way. It was a big haul this week because when I'm depressed, sometimes it's little things like maybe buying a few things to fill that emptiness in your heart. I've had a lot of that. Perhaps you do too. Perhaps you understand. My name's Rob Worst. I hope you have a great week. Embrace those you care about. Good night.